I'm Steve.
And I'm Les.
And this is another episode of Tabletop Tastings.
On Tabletop Tastings, we reveal a board game, we pair a whiskey with it, we do a full playthrough of the game while enjoying the whiskey, and then reflect on the pairing. We're changing things up a little bit though today, and Steve, for the very first time on Tabletop Tastings, has brought the game. I have no idea what it is. Steve, take us through what you've brought today.
Okay, so the game that we are going to play today has been designed by a small family out of Melbourne, Australia.
Ooh, okay.
And so it's a little family-run business, a studio there, but their team has over 20 years in design and illustration of actually some really big games.
Really?
And they've done a lot of artwork and so on, illustrations for some really big companies.
Awesome.
So some well-known card games, board games, and RPGs, including Dungeons & Dragons, Thunderstone, Legends of the Five Rings, and Dominion.
Wow, we're talking a big, big player here.
Yeah, exactly. And actually their clients even include AEG, Fantasy Flight Games, Rio Grande Games, Monte Cook, and some others.
Wow, so they're huge.
Yeah.
They're absolutely huge.
Yeah, so they know what they're doing. So this is their first move from contributor to creator.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
cool.
so they're hoping to launch lots of different games. And actually, if you look at their website, there's already a name up for their next game that they're already into designing. So with a 7.7 rating on BGG, we are going to play the deluxe Kickstarter edition of Survival of the Fattest.
Ooh, cool. Let's take a
Let's
look.
reveal.
Wow. Look at that game.
This is Survival of the Fattest. And I'm just going to say right off the bat, I think I did it right, Les, with the miniatures. Because unlike sometimes what you've provided for us, I've had all of ours done up.
So did these come just like gray or brown and you actually had them painted?
Yeah.
Who painted them?
So our good friend Chris
No way.
painted and designed these over like a weekend,
Wow.
which blew me away. He did awesome. He even added the little bit of grass and all the extra little bits on the bottom.
A beautiful looking game.
Yeah.
And that is because of the miniatures. They look fantastic.
Aren't they awesome?
Look at the detail.
So in the normal edition, you just get a little cardboard cutout and a little stand to put it on. But I contributed and got the deluxe Kickstarter edition with all the awesome little miniatures. And it adds to the game. So I've played through the game a number of times, like you try to do to understand it. And I actually just used the little stickers that came with it. And it changed the way that you play the game completely because you're like, oh, okay, I'll move my guy here. Okay, so let's get into a little bit of the game and then we'll get into the next part of our lesson.
Yeah, how do you play this thing?
Okay, so basically in Survival of the Fattest, we are a woodland creature that is trying to store up as much food as possible so that they can produce recipes to then be able to survive winter.
Okay.
And so that's what we're going to do.
Winter is coming. You
Winter
gotta get
is
ready.
coming.
That's right.
So it's played over 12 rounds from spring through the end of autumn. And then by the time autumn comes, we need to have whoever has the most recipes from the most food that they've stored up wins the game. So
Awesome.
that's kind of it. So I'm going to take you through a quick little bit about the game. So how do we get the food? So the first part of it is we need to be able to forage. So you'll see 3 different forage sections.
Okay.
So we have Pinecrest Ridge, we have Greenvale, and we have Pebblebrook. That's basically where you're gonna get most of your food from. And so each of the locations has a little extra bonus for having gone to that location.
Okay.
Which is pretty cool. The other part we have is your trading post. So you can go to your trading post, and I haven't revealed everything yet because it kind of gets into the game a little bit.
Sure.
So I'll reveal it as we play it. But the trading post is another location where you can collect food from.
Swap one, collect one.
Yeah, and I'll get into that in a moment.
Okay.
The last place that the second to last place that we can visit is the market. And so this is where we're going to get our recipes.
food. Oh.
No, you get your food out in the foraging. This is where we're going to get our recipes. And the recipes is really what gets us the points at the end of the game. And I'll get into that in a moment as well. So that's kind of a really overview of the game. However, before we get too far into this, Les, I feel something might be missing.
I feel like you may be right. I'm pretty excited about this.
He's got his clipboard, he must be.
Steve, I got a question for you. What is Japanese whiskey?
Japanese whiskey is whiskey made in Japan?
Well, you're not half wrong. But until recently, the answer to that question wasn't clear.
Okay.
Because the industry was completely unregulated. So lots of whiskeys would come to market without any transparency or certainty around them. And it left many wondering if that spirit in their glass was actually Japanese whiskey or not. It was tricky, in fact. Almost impossible to know what you were actually drinking. And I believe when you gave me a theme for this game, you gave me that theme of tricky.
Yeah. And you're going to see how that plays out in the game as well.
And I have a feeling that there's more in common with the whiskey that I've selected than I originally thought with the theme that you gave me. And it makes me super excited.
Me too.
Spirits as a whole have gone through a lot of regulations over the past century, really. Bourbon, it was defined in 1965 in the United States as to what legally a bourbon is. Scotch and single malts, they were defined back in 2009. And more recently, Irish whiskey was defined in 2016. Japanese whiskey was only defined this year with the formation of the Japan Spirits and Liquors Market Association, the JSLMA. So this past April, 2024, the distillery who's produced the bottle that we're going to pair with this, they played a huge role in getting that legislation put into play. So, what is a Japanese whiskey? Well, you said it needs to be made in Japan, and that is right. Japanese whiskey, everything must take place in Japan. The water that's used for it, the fermentation and distillation needs to take place in Japan. It needs to age in Japan. It needs to be packaged in Japan. Malted grain must always be used, but you can throw in any other grains or cereals that you want with it as well. It must be distilled to less than 95% ABV. It must be aged in wooden casks for a minimum of 3 years, and it must be bottled at a minimum of 40 ABV. And they're extremely strict on this regulation. They've gone so far with it that if you've done anything, use a Japanese name, a Japanese location, you're not allowed to produce that anymore because it could confuse or mislead people to think that it is Japanese whiskey. So the regulations are very strong with that. The company, the distillery that's made the bottle that we're going to reveal, has been doing this for over 100 years. Last year was their 100th anniversary in producing spirits, so they know a thing or two about making whiskey. What we're going to reveal is...
I'm excited. Oh, he gets to use the reveal box. I don't like this anymore.
it changes things up.
It sure does. All I get to see is the back of a box.
Okay, should we go for it?
Let's go for it.
Okay.
What are we gonna have?
And I'll have you take the bottle out there, Steve. We are drinking, or going to be drinking, Hibiki.
Hibiki.
Okay.
Hibiki.
And if you want to take it out of the box,
I sure do.
As well.
I love to do that.
So Hibiki means...
That's beautiful.
It is beautiful, and I'm just stunned at its beauty. Hibiki means resonance, or really that is Japanese harmony, which we'll see on the front of the label for it. Check out that bottle. There are some very unique facets to that bottle. One of them is really beautiful. Number of sides that bottle has. Any idea how many sides that bottle has?
Oh man, no.
Well, the answer is 24.
Okay.
So it is 24 sides to it, which represents a few different things. There's 24 hours in a day. But the Japanese also have 24 seasons. And it shocks me that, we're playing a game that has seasons. So 24 seasons, which they base on the rhythm of the moon and sun cycles. And each of these cycles lasts 15 days. 24 of these gives us approximately a year. So that's what we're going to try here. What's cool about this spirit directly is that it's a blend of numerous malts and grain whiskeys made from the 3 most prestigious distilleries that Suntory Distillery has. So that's the Hakushu,
Oh, I love it.
the Yamazaki, and the Chitta distilleries. It's funny, I practiced that so many times and and nailed it, but
I love when he's got names.
Not that time. So when they blend it, they're blending it to create a sense of wa, or that is a sense of oneness. Yeah. And that's what we're going to experience with this. Ooh. So what we'll do is we'll pop it open.
Please do.
Notice even on the side of the bottle, they got like a little,
it's really cool.
They got a little holographic sticker on it.
Okay.
This bottle is
beautiful. So Japanese, that culture, they know how to, when they do something, they do it right. Like they take their time and make sure that everything is just awesome. So it's not surprising that they take that much time just into the look and design.
The detail on
the
top
actual
of that cork.
bottle. Too.
It is beautiful.
Ooh, let's hear the pop.
Okay, you ready for this? Mm-hmm. Ooh. And check out that chunky glass cork.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Oh, it smells good too.
Ooh,
it smells
sure
very
does.
good. Okay, you want to bring a glass over? We'll
yes,
get that
I
cork.
do. Oh, I'm excited for this.
Put the cork back on it there if you got it.
No, I like to leave it off and then you try to open it later.
I know.
Yeah, that's cool.
Okay, it's quite light in color, eh?
But it's not light on the nose, which is funny.
The nose is nice. Now, they describe the nose as rosewood and sandalwood.
Okay, I get the sandalwood.
They had one or two other words too, but I didn't know what they meant. So I left them out.
Best to do that.
However, when I smell it, I definitely get like a sweetness to it. Maybe that's some of that rose.
It could be, yeah.
Like I'm thinking a little bit of caramel as well.
Yeah, you kind of get that little bit of caramel. I was even gonna go like as far as some icing sugar. Like it's really sweet.
Okay. Mm-hmm. And that may go into some of their tasting notes as well. So if you want to go in, we can have a little taste.
Yeah, let's go in. Ooh, that is really cool.
Quite nice.
So you do get a little bit right away, some sweet, but then you're hit with a little bit of peat as well, which is really cool.
So they describe the sweet as a candied orange peel.
Okay.
And having known that or read that, I immediately got the orange flavor with it from tasting. The other piece, which may come to you after you sip it, is white chocolate. They describe it as a little bit of a white chocolate taste. Now, they also had a bunch of other words in there that I didn't know what those ingredients were, so I didn't include it on here. But essentially kind of woody.
Yeah, it could be the wood that I'm getting too. Obviously, they haven't used peat. Must not have, but you get that wood flavoring to it, the bit of that char, which is really nice. Like this is really well balanced.
It's one of the most pleasant whiskeys that I've ever had.
That's an easy sipping whiskey.
It's very easy. It's got a nice mouthfeel to it. It's got a nice aftertaste to it. The nose is nice. The flavor is quite nice.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you remember or not, but I had interviewed Jason Toto Tam, the creator of Fire Noodle Eating Champs, towards the end of last year. And when I asked him what his favorite whiskey was, Hibiki is what he said it was. So I've been waiting almost a year to try it in anticipation of his recommendation for it.
Nice. Well, it was a good recommendation. It's really nice.
I'm so pleased with that.
That's beautiful. Wow. And it's just like you said, it's really just easy to sip, easy to drink. Actually, it may be just a little too easy to sip, eh?
It's delicious.
Yeah, that's so well balanced. Because there's a lot of...
It's a lot of complexity
to it, yeah.
All really
for being
nice.
So light. I did not expect to get that much complexity out of that light of a color. And then, like, the nose is really nice too. Good choice. So, we're gonna take these guys off. I just wanted to show you them. So I'll just throw them up on the side here for now.
These ones here too?
No, these are our characters that we're gonna use. I just chose a couple of...
Are you trying to say something there?
No. No. So all the characters have a unique ability. So your old Grizz, he's kind of a grumpy old guy, old bear, right? Okay. So he doesn't really like other animals being around, especially little pipsqueaks like I am. So one of his biggest abilities, if you look at your card, it shows your main ability that you get right away. And so, why don't you read it for
Yeah,
us?
mine says, when foraging, you always have priority, regardless of how many forage cards you've played.
Yeah. So every time that you're out there foraging, he's pretty grumpy, so he's just going to push all the other characters out of the way, and he's going to choose first.
Okay.
So that's kind of his ability. Now, you'll get other abilities as we go on, and you have trick cards as well. And so I've just put those face down in your critter deck, so each of us will have 3 trick cards that we can play as we go through
Can I look
our
at
deck.
these?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, go ahead and have a look. So the name of the game is Foraging for Food. And again, like everything is just really well done. All the artwork on here is really well done. The quality of the game is fantastic as well. But let's get into actually playing the game. So you have 6 locations that your character can move to. So the first one is actually your stash, so your home board.
Okay.
So that's one of the locations that you can move to or from. The other locations are, as we've kind of discussed already, Pinecrest Ridge, Greenvale, and Pebblebrook. These are your main foraging locations. So when you move to one of those locations, each of them has its own special ability. So if you go to Pinecrest Ridge, you're going to be able to stash 1 before you even do your foraging.
And stash 1 means?
So you're going to be able to take from your hand,
okay,
and put into your stash.
Ah, okay.
And this becomes really important because to be able to complete the recipes that you have reserved or taken from the market without paying for, they're going to go up top here, and you want to complete those by the end of the game. Having them completed gives you points at the end of the game. So that's kind of the biggest thing for that. So that's stash 1, and then you can forage.
I'll just slide that up a little bit for room for our cards.
Sure.
Okay.
Yep. Next place is Greenvale. So Greenvale allows you to draw 2. So in your hand, we're going to start with 5 cards in our hand. And so when you go to Greenvale, you'll actually draw 2 more cards from your critter deck into your hand. So hopefully you'll be able to grab a couple extra foraging cards.
Gotcha,
which
okay.
we'll get into in a minute. And then you'll forage. In Pebblebrook, you'll reveal the top 3 cards from the deck, and then you can place them however you want, either at the bottom of the deck or in any order that you want. And that becomes really important because within the food are traps. And you don't want to collect the trap because at the end of the game, any trap that is stashed is 1 point against you.
So when you reveal cards, can you reveal from any of the decks?
No, you're just revealing from this location.
And how do you draw from that location?
We'll get into that in a moment.
Okay,
so
cool.
that's kind of your areas to forage. And then we have our trading post. So our trading post, we can do this now because...
Ooh, is that a Kickstarter exclusive card? That one looks a little shiny.
So that is part of... I don't know if it's necessarily a Kickstarter that it's so nice and shiny. That is just part of the game.
Okay.
And that's a wild card. So it can be used as any type of food. So this is actually kind of great because we got our wild card, you've got a couple examples of our food, and you have a trap.
Fish off food.
Yeah,
Brains not food.
exactly. So when you visit the trading post, you can either swap 1. So that means you would take a food that you have in your hand and swap it for one of these that are already showing.
So would you ever want a trap?
So there is one guy, the fox, yes. So Rascal, he likes to collect traps. So he's a good one to be able to collect traps, and any that he's stashed away actually counts as a point towards him at the end of the game and not a point against him. Us, we don't really want traps because when you pick up the card from here, it's going to go into your discard pile, but your discard pile becomes your main hand.
Gotcha, okay.
And so traps take up place in your hand. So when we get started, we're going to have the ability to have 5 cards in our hand, and a trap is just going to take up space in that hand. Okay,
Gotcha.
so we do want to try to avoid traps. When you're foraging, you may not be able to avoid traps.
Right.
You may pull it; they may come up, and you're going to have to take them. So that's the trading post, or you can collect one. So if you go there and you're like, well, I don't really want any of these, you can take the card off the top,
Gotcha.
and that's your turn.
Okay.
Okay. The other spot is the market. So we're each going to get 2 of these. And you can look at it right away. So In the market, you're going to find recipes. So you'll see on like this one here, this is leafy vegetables. The ingredients are a leaf and a carrot. So as you're foraging and you're collecting food, say I took this one and I want to hold on to it for now. By the end of the game, I want to have stashed away leaves and carrot.
Oh, so they're end of game,
and
end of game goals.
So these ones up here are an end of game goal. Each resets, so each time we go between seasons, we are going to go from our stash and we can complete any that are completed.
Okay.
So to complete this in this recipe, I would need 1 leaf and 1 carrot in my stash to be able to complete it. Now, every time we get to go between seasons, we call that a reset, or they call it a reset. And you'll be able to, all of us will go to our stash and we can complete any of the recipes that we have already reserved. They get completed, turned down, our food goes back to the trading post, gets shuffled in, and so on. So you're gonna take one of these. Normally what I end up doing is I just wanna take whatever one's worth the most. And both of mine are worth 3, so I'll just take this one here. And then the other one is gonna go face up into the market. So you can just choose.
I'm going to go a little simpler.
Okay.
To do the opposite of what you do.
Okay.
And I'm going for pecan pie, which only requires acorns.
Okay, perfect. So you'll notice at the bottom of the card also has a market bonus. So let's take this one for example. It is honey drops and the ingredient is honey. At the bottom, it says market bonus. You get 1 point for each unspent honey in your stash when scoring. So some of them allow you to carry more cards in your hand. Some of them are an immediate bonus as well. So they'll allow you to either forage or take something from the trading post. They allow you to do different things. How you receive these is when you visit the market, you can either reserve one or complete one. So reserve one means I would take, say, this card from here and I put it into my reserve. Doesn't cost me anything. I've just visited the market. That allows me to do that. Or if I wanted to do the minted candy nuts, I would pay a leaf, a honey, and an acorn into the trading post. And then that would give me the market bonus, which is 1 point for each other recipe in our bonus slot. So by purchasing this, now I get to have the bonus. So there is one thing to keep in mind. If it's reserved for end of game, they're usually worth a little bit more points. Okay, at the end of the game, and if you've paid from your stash. However, the market bonuses give you those extra little bonuses that you can use throughout the game or immediately.
So you don't get those bonuses until
the very end of the game. Well, the bonuses can work right away.
Okay.
You get them immediately or as you work along. So if you had that one there, for example, the pecan pie, the market bonus was you may immediately reserve 1. So you paid your acorn, you're now using it as your bonus. You would actually get to take one of the other cards and put it in your reserve.
Awesome.
So they all give you a little bit extra bonuses here and there. But the biggest thing is if you've reserved them, you're not actually getting the bonus. All you're doing is working towards completing that, which is going to be worth points at the end of the game. Whoever has the most points because they've completed the most recipes is who wins.
Awesome.
Okay, so let's talk a moment before we talk about foraging. So in your discard, I have placed our 7 foraging cards that go with this, okay? So you have 7 foraging cards numbered from 1 through 7. So let's just do this. Take your trick cards and we're gonna shuffle our deck. And for you viewers, you'll get to see what the trick cards for each of these are because we'll be playing them throughout the game.
Okay.
So put your deck down and face down, and then we're gonna take the first 5 cards off the top. 5 and reveal. So you may have picked up trick cards, you may have picked up foraging cards. So the foraging cards do 2 things for us. They help us forage, but they also determine order of play. So when we go to play, I'm going to say, in this case, I have a forage of 5. That is my highest forage card. What's your highest forage card?
5.
What's your second highest forage card?
4.
What's your third highest forage
I don't
card?
have a third one.
Okay, so
Were we supposed to draw 5 cards?
Yeah, you're supposed to draw 5 cards.
Actually, 7 is my highest card.
Okay. So in this case, then because you have a 7, you're actually going to become first player. Okay?
Okay.
So you'll see they have a nice little player aid for us, and it tells you our sequence of order. So the first one is to determine turn order. So now we've determined that you are going to go first in this turn. Okay?
Okay.
So if you go to Pinecrest Ridge, to Greenvale, or to Pebblebrook to forage, when you go there and it's your turn, you're going to say, I'm going to use 3 forage cards at that location. What that means is the top 3 cards will get turned over, and if you're the only animal there, those top 3 cards go into your discard pile.
Okay.
And they're going to eventually become part of your hand.
Okay.
Okay. So that's how you're going to get food to be able to use at the market or to stash away. Okay. If both of us are at the same location, we're going to at the same time say, you're player 1, you're going to say, I'm going to play 3 forage cards. And I say, I'm going to play 4 forage cards. Normally, if you're not old Grizz, that would mean I would have first pick. So what we would be doing then is we would be showing 7 of the top cards. And we'll put them out on the board. And then that shows us the draft order. So normally, if you were an old Grizz, I would draft first, then you take the next card, so on and so forth. The only thing we have to keep in mind is that any trap cards that come out, those have to be picked first before food, except for old Grizz.
Okay, sweet.
Old Grizz, he has that ability that puts him in priority regardless of whoever's foraging with him. So if like say a wild card gets turned up, he can take the wild card first before a trap. I have to take the trap, but if there's any other traps, then you have to take the next one and so forth. So those 7 cards, we just go in order until all the cards are taken. Those go into our discard pile, and that's the end of that round. Then we go to the next round. The marker will move over. We take as many cards that gets us back up to 5 from here. Now, we do have one other thing. You'll see there's all the different orders. And as we go through the first round, we'll do it together so that we can each see. The other thing you can do is discard. So if I had like a trick card or a forage card and I really want to go to my stash, I can put it discard and take 5 more cards.
And discard is what they call recycle then?
Nope. So we'll get into that in 1 second.
Okay, cool.
Okay. So let's go to our first round. So we're the first week of spring, our first month of spring, turn of spring. And so we've taken our 5 cards. We have them in turn. We have already figured out that you're going to take the first player position. So you have priority. Now we're going to do our actions. So 1 is recycle. So I can take, or you can take, because it's actually your turn, and you can recycle the cards that are in your hand. Meaning that you can take at minimum 2 and recycle those cards down. And it becomes really important when maybe you want to get more foraging cards later on, or maybe you want more food cards. So let's say I'm going to take these 2 foraging cards or these 2 cards. I'm going to then take 1 back. So I only get 1 back because you always take 1 less when you recycle than what you've recycled. If you put 3 cards down, then you're taking 2 cards up. 4 cards, you're taking 3.
Gotcha. So if you put 1 down, you get nothing.
It actually says minimum of 2 anyways. Okay. So that's kind of the recycle round. Then you play your tricks. So this is where my theme came in. So we're playing our tricks. So this is the time to do any of those tricks that we have. And those tricks can be played as much. If I had all 3 tricks, I can play all 3 of those.
Okay, so if I'm going to play a trick, where do I play it?
So you're going to put it down on your discard.
Okay.
All right.
And this says,
tell us your trick.
Each other player must reveal 1 food from their hand if able. You may stash one of the revealed cards.
Okay.
So you got to show me a food.
So I have no food.
Oh, no one would have
No
food,
one
is
has
it?
food at this point.
Okay,
So you can either keep that in your hand, because you can use it for
So,
next round.
what I'm going to do is take these two and recycle them.
Okay.
Then. I can put them face down, that's okay? Or should they be face up?
No, they're face up. So the same as the ones that I'll hold on to mine. 'Cause
So I'm going to face up, and because I did that, I can draw. I put two down so I can
you
draw,
draw one card.
Okay,
into your
excellent.
hand. So then you look at, play tricks. Are you going to play tricks?
And then
Nope.
visit a location.
So then you're going to visit locations. So the only thing to keep in mind, there are 6 locations that you can visit. Stash, trading post, the 3 foraging locations, or the market.
Now-
you cannot, and the stash.
And when you go to the stash, what does that do for you again?
So when you go to your stash, it's when you have lots of food in your hand,
Oh,
and
and you
you want
wanna
to take
complete
your
the recipe.
food back to your stash so that by the time we have a reset, you have food in your stash.
It's got to be in the stash. Okay.
And this becomes really important, and we'll look at our cards now, our player cards. By the end of the game, we need to have fed our animal.
Okay.
So that the food that's at the bottom of our card is the food that it takes to feed our animal. If you have not fed your animal by the end of the game, it does not matter how many points you have lost. You must feed your animal by the end of the game. The other thing to keep in mind is that you want to feed your animal because you're going to turn over the card at that point. He only needs to be fed once, and then you get a bonus. So you still get your ability, however, you get a bonus, and his bonus is awesome.
Yeah, you may use honey as stars.
Yeah,
What
it's
are
wild cards.
Oh, wild cards. Okay, that's
Yeah.
great.
So you want to collect lots of honey once you've fed him.
Makes
So
sense.
for you to feed Old Grizz, you need
two
two
honey and a
honey
fish.
and a fish from your stash.
Gotcha.
So it cannot be in your hand, it cannot be in your discard, it has to be in your
okay,
stash.
that makes perfect sense. Then.
So that's one of the locations you can go to is your stash. And you're going to do that a little bit later on when you want to stash your food. The other locations, you can never go to the same location
right.
2 times in a row. So if I'm at the trading post, I can't stay at the trading post. I have to go somewhere else.
So it's worker placement with a single worker.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to stick my old Grizz up at Greenvale.
Nice.
Excellent. And then I think I wait for you.
Now you're gonna wait. Okay, so I kind of moved ahead a little bit. So I'm gonna do a recycle of 2, which allowed me to pick up a trick. So I'm gonna play my trick now. So mine is heist. So I put 1 card from the trading post into my hand. Then, if able, put 1 card from the trading post into each other player's discard.
Okay.
So I get to choose.
Yep.
So I'm going to take my food,
Right.
and it's going to go actually into my hand for now.
Okay, yep.
And then he's got such good abilities. I played the first time as Old Grizz, and he's a
banging.
mean guy.
Okay.
So I'm going to put a trap into your discard pile.
Ooh, so you get to draw 2 cards?
So put 1 card from the trading post into your hand. Then, if able, put 1 card from the trading post into each other player's discard.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. So it's a nice little trick. So the
that's
tricks are awesome, and they play really well throughout the game. So we'll just replace the trading post,
Okay.
and now I need to move. I see you over there at Greenvale, so I'm actually going to go to Pinecrest,
Ogres is
and
quite
I'm going to
happy over
stay there.
Okay.
Okay.
So then we're going to play forage
So
cards.
now it's your turn because you are the first player.
Yep.
So now we're going to go into the second part, which is foraging. So you're going to play your forage cards. However, you want to do your special bonus at Greenvale first. So your special bonus at Greenvale, stop, is to draw 2. You are drawing from your critter deck.
Oh,
So you may be able to forage even more.
that's fancy.
Which is nice. Yeah.
Okay, and I indeed did. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 forage cards.
So you get to choose how many forage cards you want to use.
So I'm going to use all 6.
Okay, so reveal the 6, and those are your cards that go into your discard. Now, if both of us were there, if I said I'm going to forage by 3 cards, then we would have turned up 9 forage food cards. So let's show everybody what you got.
So I got a wild fruit. I got some fish. Ooh, I got a trap.
You got a trap.
I got a carrot. I got some more fish.
Nice.
And I got some more fish.
Beautiful.
Lots of fish.
So you take all those cards and they go into your discard pile. Perfect.
Okay.
Now, whatever cards you use to forage, all the forage cards go into your discard as well.
Which I've put in already. So play forage cards.
Where are those though?
Oh yeah, thank you.
No, those are your discards.
Yeah, that's great. Determine priority, reveal cards, draft revealed cards.
Right. So if both of us were there, we would take turns going back and forth. Because you're old Grizz, you're nasty, you always take priority.
Rightly
you
so.
get to do the same.
Rightly so.
Okay, so now it turns to me. So now it is my turn. So the special ability at Pine Rest Ridge is I get to stash one, which I do have. So I'm going to stash.
Yeah.
One of the things I forgot to mention about your stash is that once you've stashed, you put it face down. You are not to look at that until you do the reset.
Wow.
Or you go back to your stash.
Okay.
That's the only time you get to look. So you got to kind of remember, all right, what do I have in there?
We're in trouble now.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I am going to forage with 3 cards.
Okay.
And so the numbers have nothing to do
Right.
when you're foraging. It's only the amounts
Right.
that you're using. So I'm going to do those 3. And if you can pass me 3 from Pine Rest Ridge, and we can reveal them as well. So I got a berry, I got an acorn, and I got honey.
Nice.
So those now go into my discard pile face up. That's the round.
So now we
So
progress
we're
the
gonna
round
progress.
marker.
Yep.
I love the little player aid here.
I love
'cause
it,
it's
right?
Fantastic. Discard.
Discard. So if you had cards in your hand, other than, as it says, a trap, you can place those down so that you can get more collected as you reveal your 5 cards.
Okay, and then draw back
Draw,
up to 5.
so you draw back up to 5.
Okay, so I've only got 2 here.
4.
So I'm going to shuffle up
So
my
you're going to
discard.
shuffle up your discard. I have to do the same. Oops, I
Just like a standard
this thing up.
deck builder.
Yeah.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I gotta flip my guy back over because I have not. So I have 3, 4, 5. Okay. Now we're gonna just see. Okay, who has the highest forage card? Because that will determine
Probably
order.
going to be you, but mine is 3.
I have a 7, so I
excellent.
get to go first. So I'm gonna take the first
Okay.
player card here. All right. So now I gotta decide. Do I want to recycle? So I think I'm actually just going to hold on to everything that I've got and play tricks. So I'm going to use my first trick. I gotta look at how I want to do this. Aha. So I'm gonna do this one here. So reveal 2 from the trading post deck. So it's kind of funny. Oakley helps himself.
Oh, they've got unique trick cards.
All of them have unique trick cards.
okay,
So
that's cool.
Oakley helps himself, but he seems to help everybody else. Now that one I got to choose, which is why I did that, because this one here, we're going to, so mine is reveal 2 from the trading post deck, stash 1 of the revealed cards, so that means it'll go into my stash, and put the other onto another player's discard.
Okay, so it may help me, it may not.
It may. So I'm gonna 1
Well, obviously it's not.
and 2. So I will stash the carrot,
Yeah.
and this goes into your discard. Okay? And you can play as many trick cards as you have. So I'm going to play my next trick card. So it says shuffle the cards from your discard in your critter deck, then draw 2. So I'm going to shuffle the discard pile and my critter deck together, and I draw 2. So 1, 2.
That's a good ability.
Yep, it is, because sometimes I'll even get another trick card out of that, which is pretty sweet. Okay, I did not. So that was my last trick card. So now I'm going to decide, all right, where am I going to go? So I know that you can't go back to Greenvale, so I'm going to go and forage at Greenvale.
Fantastic. I am going to play a trick, so I'm going to stash 1 from the trading post, and I like that wild fruit. It's pretty good, so we'll stash that.
it. Yep,
Okay.
goes in your stash.
And then we immediately replenish.
Yep. Perfect.
Okay, and then I am going to go to Pebble Brook, if you can toss me over there.
I sure can. Okay, so that's that. Now we're gonna forage. So I'm gonna play my forage cards. I have 4 forage cards to play, so I'm gonna put those 4 down.
Good, and I've got 3 to play.
Okay. So we're not in the same location, so we don't have to worry about that. I get to draw 2 more. Actually, I should have did that first.
You did draw 2 already, didn't you?
Draw 2
'cause
more
that-
from
right,
Reveal.
right.
So I'm actually going to use 5.
Right. And then I get
Foraging
to look at the top. I guess you do your
Yeah,
thing
I'll
first.
do mine,
Yeah, right.
but we do it in order. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Wow.
So those
good
all
things. That's crazy.
beautifully get put into my discard. Now that's my turn. Now it's your turn.
Okay,
so
so
you
I
get
get
to
to
look
reveal-
at the top 3.
Yep.
So we'll reveal them for you. So you got a leaf, you got an acorn, and you got a leaf.
Cool. And
So
I'll
now-
leave those all on top.
Okay.
And then I'll take those.
How many did you use?
3.
3. Oh, there you go. There's your 3.
Fantastic.
Okay, that's the round. We'll advance the token, and then we will discard if you have any in your hand that you want to get rid of.
Can you keep it, or do you have to discard?
No, you don't have to. You can keep it in your hand. Yep.
But if I want to stash it, which I'm going to need to do soon. Okay, that's cool.
I'm going to actually throw these 2 down. So I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So we're back up to 5. So draw, you back up to 5. Now we go back to determine turn order. So I have a forage of 4 is my highest.
4 is my highest as well.
What is your next highest?
Don't have one.
I have a 1, so I get to go first again.
Okay.
Okay, so recycle. Yeah, I'm going to recycle 3, which means I get to collect 2 more. And I'm just going to do my discard pile, which becomes my critter deck, and I'll take the top 2 off. 1 and 2, and that did not help me do what I wanted to anyways. All right, so I'm gonna do my first trick, which is the heist. So I put 1 card from the trading post into my hand. Well, I need a fish
Okay.
eventually, so I'll put that into my hand. That goes in my hand, and then I put 1 card into the other players. So
Nice.
I'll give you a leaf.
Thanks. That's great.
You're welcome. And then I have my other trick, which is reveal 2 from the trading post deck. I stash the 1 and then put the other into the other player's hand. So
Okay.
I've got a leaf and a leaf. So my leaf gets stashed and you get that in your discard pile. I'm gonna go to the market.
Okay. I'm going to recycle. Okay, excellent. So I recycled 2 cards, so I get to draw 1.
Yep.
Crazy. And then I get to play tricks.
Yep.
Which I don't have any. And then I get to visit a location. So I'm going to come over here to Pine Crest Ridge.
All right, old Grizz. There you go.
Excellent. Okay.
Okay, so now we do our location. So I am going to reserve this one here.
Nice.
At the end of the game, this gets turned up, and that is my turn.
Okay, excellent. I only have 1 forage. So I'm going to play my forage. I get to stash 1. So I'm going to take 1
food.
into there. Excellent. And then I get to draw just a card.
Yep.
Yeah.
Reveal 1. It goes into your
Into
discard.
Okay, I've had a fish.
Okay,
Okay, cool.
that's the end of the round. Round
That's it.
marker moves. You can discard as many cards as you want, other than traps. So I'm actually going to discard all 3 of those, so that I can collect 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Okay, so this is the final season of spring.
Of spring. Yep.
Okay, I got a 7 in my hand.
Okay, you get to go first. I only had a 5.
Excellent. So there's no other way to stash cards then, is there?
The way to stash cards, if you have them in your hand, you can go to your stash. That's one of the locations you can go to.
Oh,
Yeah.
gotcha. If I go to the market,
You have 2 options.
uh-huh,
You can either pay the ingredients, which will get you the market bonus.
from my hand,
Yeah, you have to have them in your hand.
okay, or I can
Or you can just take one of the cards, and they become a reserve that you finish from your stash.
And when do you finish them from your stash?
You can finish them at the reset
Okay.
or at the end of the game.
Gotcha. Let's go to the Pebblebrook again.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to play my trick card, which is shuffle, which I've just done. And then I draw 2 cards into my hand. I don't have enough to finish that, so I'm not going to worry about going to my stash. I think what I'll do is I will go to Green Veil.
Green Veil and draw 2?
And I'll draw 2, but you don't do that once you get your location.
Gotcha.
So you're player 1, so you get to forage now.
Right. And I'll
So
reveal
you're
my
going to
top
reveal
3.
your 3, a leaf, a honey, and a leaf.
Okay, we can keep them in that order.
Them.
I'm going to forage for 2, so I'm going to take the leaf and the honey.
Okay, so take those 2. That goes back on top.
Excellent.
Those go in your discard, and that's your turn.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, I get to draw 2 as my first thing, so 1 and then 2. But I am going to forage for 3. So I get to reveal the top 3. So 1, 2, and 3. That
Ooh,
did
2
not
traps. That's
work
fantastic.
out
That's what I like to see.
the best for me. That all goes into my discard. And that's the turn. So now we're going to go to the next round, which is to do a reset. So all of us come back. We're not going to move them, but all of us come back to our stash. So you get to take a look at your stash and see, can I finish off either a recipe or my ability?
Okay, so I got wild fruit.
Okay.
And do I have to spend it? Like get rid of the card? Or
It goes into your trading into the trading post, yes.
on the bottom of the trading post?
Well, it doesn't matter because we're going to do a reset
shuffle.
so it can go anywhere.
Okay, so I'll put it there.
Okay.
And then I do get to complete this then because I'm treating it as nuts.
Turn it face down on the completed recipes.
And then I get my market bonus.
No, you don't. You only get the market bonus
if you took it from the market
and you pay that right away. So it goes face down on your completed recipes.
Gotcha.
And then whatever you haven't used from your stash goes face down back into your
So I really
stash.
should have taken the more expensive one. Yeah. As you recommended.
That's what I recommended, but you didn't want to listen to me.
That's
so
cool.
That's okay. So I cannot complete any of my recipes, and I cannot do my abilities, so my stash just goes back down.
Huh.
Now we're going to do a reset.
So technically I'm winning right now.
Yeah, let's go with that. So we're going to reset the market.
Okay.
So the market gets put
do that over
together,
here
and
too?
you can reset all of the food goes together, gets shuffled, if you want to do that, and then make 4 stacks.
Oh, all of it?
All of it. All of it goes back together, and then make 4 stacks. One goes in the trading post, one goes in Pinecrest Ridge, and one goes Greenvale, and the other.
Crazy. Yeah. It's so crazy it might just work.
So that's 1 full round.
So 1 full round, and we've now had a bit of time with our Hibiki. Steve, what do you think of it so far?
I really have enjoyed this. I've been able to sip as we go, and I think it's a perfect pairing for this game. This is such a nice. Like I've played this game now with my family about 4 or 5 times actually, and it's just we were laughing. We had lots of fun the other night playing it, and this goes really well with it. It's just nice sipper. It's not. There's nothing offensive whatsoever about it. Like you don't have one flavor that's just like really hits you in the face as you drink it, which you can get with some whiskeys, which is okay if that's what you're looking for. But this one, it just complements each other so nicely.
Back to that pleasant. I can't think of anything other than pleasant to describe this because it's just pleasant. It's enjoyable.
And it's so, like, it's just well balanced. They really knew what they were doing with this. It's really nice, and I'm really happy that we get to enjoy it playing this game.
Me too. It's fantastic.
Okay, our reset is not completed yet.
Okay.
You can put 4 cards up on the trading post. And then the market hasn't been completed yet either. So what happens during the reset is each of us get 2 cards again.
Ooh.
You
a
get
little
to
smarter with my
select
selection this
one,
time.
and then the other one will go face up into the market. So I'll give you a bit of a hint. So in this case, you're doing a reserve, right? So you really just want to pay attention to the top. Now you do want to pay attention to how much food is needed to be able to complete it.
Okay, and the second one you said, get rid of
It goes into the market.
Okay.
Okay. So you chose to have to spend one of your wild cards by the end of the game to complete that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Perfect. I like it. And then we do a reset for our cards. So all of the cards in your hand and all of your discard and all of your critter deck go together and you put them together.
Your secret stash of
My
cards?
secret stash over there.
Okay,
My last time I collected, I didn't put it in there.
I think I've got this, and I'm ready to fatten up now too.
Nice.
So it's going to get real.
Yeah.
It's going to get real.
Yeah, so it takes like a couple of turns to kind of figure out, okay,
Like
this is
any
what I
game.
want to
Like
do.
any game.
Of course, yeah. So then you put your critter deck down and draw 5 cards. 4 and 5. So what is your highest foraging card?
6.
You get to go first. So you get the first player token.
Sweet.
So now, again, you just do your actions, your recycle, play tricks, visit location.
So I will recycle 2 to draw 1. Excellent, that worked out well. And I have no tricks, but if you could pop me in the market, that'd be great.
You're going to go to the market?
I'm going to go to the market.
All right, perfect. So now I am going to recycle 4. So I get to draw 3, 2, 3. Didn't work out the greatest in my favor.
It's going to get worse before it gets better. Steve.
Yep. However, I was able to recycle and get a heist card, a trick card. So I'm going to play my trick card. So I put 1 card from the trading post into my hand. And then if able, I put 1 card from the trading post into the other player's discard. So I am going to take the acorn.
Yep,
That's
you're
going to
gonna
go
get-
into my
You're
hand.
going to give me the trap.
And I will give you the trap.
Makes sense. Checks
Of
out.
course.
Checks out.
I think you would do the same. I would hope that you would anyways.
Okay.
Okay, just hold up.
Yep.
I get to move to a location
Yes.
now. Oh, I can stash. I'm going to do Pinecrest.
Fantastic.
Okay, so I've moved my location. Now you get to forage.
So
Or
I'm
do
going
whatever you're
to,
do.
I can actually pay for, I got a leaf and a honey to pay for the honey tea.
Nice.
So I get this, and then I get the market bonus. You may immediately move to another location and
Yeah.
take the associated action.
Beautiful.
I'm going to move to Pinecrest Ridge.
You're a jerk.
Yep.
So those go at the bottom of the pile.
They go at the bottom of the pile,
Yep.
and then this goes.
That
in
goes at the
complete-
bottom. It's your completed recipe. No. It goes underneath here.
Okay.
So you slide it up so that all you see is your revealed. So now at the end of the game, all of these bonuses, you will get the 2 points for that as well.
Fantastic.
end of the game.
Okay, that's cool.
Okay, so now that's
so
your turn.
I move
you
there.
finished your market.
And then, yeah, visit a location.
So you get to take yours first. But anyways, I'm going to use 1 forage card because that's all I had, and you're going to use 2. So reveal 3 cards. Oh, I get to stash. I am going to stash.
Oh, stink! I got nothing to stash.
No, you didn't.
Oh, I just went there to mess with you. 'cause
You did,
I
yeah.
knew I knew
So
I'd
reveal 3 cards. So 1, 2. I don't know why you're putting them all next to you.
3,
So you get first choice.
and it's going to go back and forth.
It goes back and forth.
So I'll take the honey and the acorn, and you get the acorn.
Come on, you got to do it in order.
Sweet.
Okay, so that is that round. So now we go to the next. You would discard if you had any to discard. I cannot discard the trap that's in my hands. So I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. What forage is your highest number?
5.
I have a 6, so I get to go first. So I reveal. I don't have any trick cards to play, so then I am going to go to Greenvale.
Excellent. I am going to trick. So each other player must stash 1 trap from their hand if able. Yay. And then we're going to visit a location. We're going to keep following you. So we're going to go to Greenvale as well. No, actually, we're going to go to the market.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. So now it's my turn. I'm going to... oh, this was from last time.
Yep.
Excusez-moi. So I get to draw 2. 1 and 2. Oh, I like that. I like that. So I'm going to forage 3. So I'll put those in my discard, and I will forage by 3 cards. 2 and 3.
Nice.
Go into my discard. Okay, that's my turn.
Okay. I am going to buy that sashimi because I've got a fish in my hand.
Yep.
So I'll pick that up. And that gives me a nice little market bonus at the end.
Perfect. Yeah, for each fish you have not used. You want to read it for everyone?
Yeah, so it says plus 1 point for each unspent fish in my stash when scoring.
Nice.
So that's sweet.
Beautiful. So that's your turn. We'll reveal one more.
Ooh, I like it. Cool.
Beautiful. That's a nice one. Okay, so now we're going to move the marker up one more. You can discard cards from your hand. So I'm going to discard those. That one. And then I collect 4 more. 1, 2, 3 more, I guess.
Oh, that's garbage.
All right, I have a 7 forage.
5.
Okay, so I get to go first again. I have no trick cards, and I don't want to... Oh, actually, maybe I will recycle. I can recycle those 2 and collect 1 more. Oh, that was a good one. Because I did that first, I get to now play my trick card. So shuffle the cards from your discard into your critter deck and draw 2.
Nice.
I like that little...
It's
all the bonuses work out really well.
Really good. Yeah.
I love them. And everybody's bonus works together. These guys here actually get to play as one. However, when they forage, their special ability is they get to forage from 2 locations.
Oh.
And if you play like 3 forage cards, that plays 3 on each.
Wow.
So they get to forage quite a bit.
Bunnies, they'd be crazy.
Yeah, they're kind of cool. Yeah, everyone has their own little awesome abilities that they get to do. Okay, so that's, and I collect 2. Oh, that was not supposed to be done. Thank you. Okay. And my location, I'm actually going to go to my stash.
Excellent. And when you go to your stash, you can put cards from your hand.
You put cards from your hand into your stash.
Right.
As many as you want.
I am going to go to Pebblebrook, please. And I'm going to recycle it as well.
Oh, you should do that first.
Yeah,
so you want to recycle first.
Recycle. There we go. Oh, and yeah, you're right. I get it.
Right?
Okay, and they're
Yeah.
going to play this. So trick. Each other player must reveal 1 food from their hand if able. And, oh, you may stash 1 of the reveal. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you got to reveal one
from
food.
my hand. Okay, so I will give you... Oh, I don't
This bear's pretty good. He likes to steal.
He's a jerk. All right, I'll give you that one.
Sweet, and I stashed
That's
the carrot.
stashed, yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet. Mm-hmm. Okay,
That is.
now I'm going to move to
I dislike you.
Pebblebrook.
I was debating on giving you old grid, but I thought I'll give you the leg up because I played this five times
like
now.
it.
So
Okay.
okay, so I'm going to take my location first, and I'm going to stash some food.
Wow,
there we
that's
go.
a lot of food you stashed.
Yeah, and that's my turn.
Okay, that's cool. I get to reveal the top 3 cards.
Yes, you do.
Those are all good. I will take the...
Oh, how many cards are you
so I'm
playing?
going to forage 3, and I'll grab
okay.
all 3 of those.
Okay, there you go. Those go in your discard along with your...
Fantastic, yep.
All right, so then you move the progress marker. So we're at the end of summer. You discard and then draw. Yeah, I'll hold on to this one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay. All right, I have a forage of 4. That's my top.
I do not have any forage cards.
Okay, so I get to go first. All right, I have a trick to play. Do I want to recycle any? I think I will. I'm going to recycle these 2. Take 1 extra card. Ooh, that worked out in my favor. I'm going to use my heists card. So put 1 card from the trading post into my hand. Then, if able, put 1 card from the trading post into your hand. So I'll take this honey, and you will take the trap. Oh, sorry, the honey goes in my hand.
Yeah.
That one goes into your discard.
Yep.
Another trap and some berries. And then I'm going to move. Ooh, I think I'm going to go to, oops. My little squirrel went squirrely. I'm going to go to Pinecrest Ridge.
Okay, excellent. I don't have anything to recycle. I don't have any tricks to play. I'm going to come to my stash.
Yep.
Excellent.
Nice.
And then in my stash...
Hold up.
Oh, yeah, I always forget.
Turn order.
Yeah, turn order.
You got to take your turn.
So we did actions, then forage.
Okay, so I'm going to forage. So that one allows me to stash one. And I'm going to forage by 3.
Nice.
So if you can give me the top 3 cards. 2, 1.
We got some acorns.
Nice.
We got some berries.
Ooh, I like it.
And we got some honey.
Oh, beautiful. So those go into my discard. And that's my turn. Now you get to...
So I'm going to take my entire deck of 5
Nice.
and stick them in my stash.
Perfect. Okay, now we go to the next round.
Sweet.
So we're going to start with our stash. So you take a look at your stash. Everybody's come back in, and you can either complete your ability as your animal, or you can complete reserved recipes.
Okay, so I can do my secret spice with this star I have. So I spend that.
That goes over here. It doesn't matter where you put them.
Okay, and then this, oh, that's a market bonus, but it says you, oh, so it just goes here.
No, it just goes there.
It just
You
goes
get the
there.
points
Right.
at the end of the game.
Which is cool. Okay, and then everything else
Can
goes
you
back in.
finish your ability as Old Grizz?
Oh,
Look at me helping you
I
out.
cannot.
Oh, that's good. I like
Oh, thank you, though, for asking.
it. Okay, so I can do my ability. I'm going to feed Oakley. So I have 2 acorns and a carrot. So that's going to go there. I flip him, and that allows me to hold 2 extra cards
that's
in my
dangerous.
hand. Okay,
Okay, cool.
So then do I have others here? Well, we'll put the trap down. What do we got? So, honey, don't have an acorn. So I think I'll just hold on to these.
Okay.
And just leave them.
Like, hold on, like you have a choice. Okay, cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, I did. I could have finished them,
Okay.
but I chose to hang on to it. Thank you.
Sweet. So then we collect all these?
Yep, so you can collect those up again. They get turned into 4 decks again as well. These come back, get shuffled, and we'll get another choice.
The final season.
Final autumn. So again, make sure that by the end of, before winter hits, you need to feed Old Grizz.
Yep, gotcha.
All right. I did mention it before. It's on video.
I appreciate the reminder. Okay, we drop.
So take your 2.
Oh, we reshuffle our decks this time, yeah.
Yeah, we will reshuffle, but take your 2 market cards and you can decide which one you want to use. Mine are both exactly the same, so I will do this and the other one goes face up. Now we're getting into some interesting ones. Perfect. So yes, you take your hand and your discard, shuffle them, and you get 5.
My market bonus, is this a one-shot or can I do it every time I take the market?
Immediately move, that's once.
That's just once,
Yeah,
okay.
it tells you if it's at the end of each season or whatever.
Okay, gotcha. So actually, with this one here, where it says market bonus, +1 for each unspent fish in my stash when scoring. Does that mean when scoring, I'd get a point for each fish in here?
Correct, at the end of the game.
Oh, at the end of the game, right?
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's when you do scoring. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I get 7 now in my hand. Thank you. Mamacita. The other thing to keep in mind is that when you do go to the market, you can only reserve 1 or complete 1. So even if you have lots of food,
gotcha.
you can't do multiples.
My highest is 4.
My highest is 7.
Okay.
So I will. I guess I'm going to leave him there. So give me a second.
Can you leave
here.
him there?
Yep. No, I won't.
Okay.
Just give me a second. I was jumping ahead like you.
It happens.
Deciding what I'm going to do here. Okay, so I'm gonna take those 3, recycle them, and then, so I get to collect 2 more. It worked out in my favor. And then I am going to, I can't stay there, so I will go to, I'm gonna go to Greenville.
Okay, I'm gonna recycle my traps to draw a card. I'm gonna play a bear trap. Each other player must stash 1 trap from their hand if able.
Yep, I have no traps in my hand.
That's unfortunate. And then my bear is going to go to the market. Okay.
So I will draw 2 cards because I'm at Greenvale, so 1 and 2. So I can't play my trick that I pulled. That has to wait, but I will play 4 forage cards. What am I doing here? Like a newbie. So 4 forage cards, so I will reveal the top 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And those will all go into my discard. All right, now it's your turn.
Okay, excellent. I am going to play a leaf and an acorn, and I'm going to complete that task that says crunchy nut salad. And that says at the end of each season I may spend a bonus star. So I think I get a free star to spend at the end?
Yep.
Fantastic.
Those go underneath. Okay. That's, now we're gonna go to the next round. So you can discard. Let's hold on to that one. So I'm gonna discard those 2. So I get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What's your highest foraging card?
-7.
Oh, I have a 6, so you get to go first.
Excellent. So I'm going to do the old smash and grab from the trading post. I get to stash 1 from the trading post.
Nice.
And I'm going to stash myself a, it's funny, I can't remember if I got a carrot or an acorn in there. So I'll grab the carrot.
Nice. Beautiful.
And then I'm going to go to Pebblebrook.
Okay. Okay, so my turn. Do I want to recycle? Yes, I think I do. I'll recycle those 2. Actually, I may as well recycle those 3. And then I'll pick up 1, 2. Oh, wow.
So many cards.
Was that?
So many cards.
So many cards. And then I will play my trick. Oh, yes. Beautiful. So I shuffle the cards from my critter deck and my, I'll leave that one on top. My discard and critter deck, and then I draw 2.
So many cards.
Love that little trick.
The little guy's got.
He's just a little stasher.
I have a feeling he was handpicked for yourself here.
He was squirreling things away. Actually, I had picked another one, but I knew that old Grizz was going to be a difficult one to go against, so I thought, well, I better try. The last I played with these 2 guys, which was actually quite fun.
The rabbits are pretty good.
Yeah. So 2 more cards into my hand. And then I will play my next trick. So put 1 card from the trading post into my hand and 1 into the player's discard. So I am going to take another, I'll do the acorn. It goes into my hand.
And what would you like me to take?
Take a leaf.
Sounds good.
Yep, thank you. And then I need to move. Where am I going to move? I will go to, excuse me, the market. All right, you're up, Grizz.
Sweet.
So reveal the top
Reveal
3. 1, 2, 3. So just as a reminder, you can put that one down at the bottom of the pile if you wanted to.
That's okay. I'm going to play 4 forage cards.
Okay. So I get an extra one.
Yeah. Sweet.
Oh, that's nice. So those go in. One of them, characters, I think it's the otter. Oh no, it's the
Deer?
the deer. No, he's not a deer.
The moose?
No, he's
Elk?
not a moose. He's like an elk, yeah.
Okay.
When he forages, if he forages alone, he puts them into his stash.
That's so good. That'd be so good.
Yeah,
Okay.
he's a good one. Okay, so you've done your turn.
Yep.
It is now my turn, and I am going to, with my acorn, I'm going to go at the bottom of the trading post. I'm going to purchase this one.
Nice, you nutter.
Increases my hand size by 1.
Crazy.
Okay, now we'll move up. So you can discard if you have them. So I'm going to discard those 2. Those 3. So I got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I love it.
Sweet.
Okay, my highest forage is a 6.
I'm a 5.
All right, so I get to go first. I'm going to recycle these 4.
Okay, so draw 3.
3 more. 1,
I got so many cards, it doesn't matter.
2, and 3. Okay, sweet. And then I will play my trick card. So steal 2 or reveal 2 from the trading post deck.
Yep.
So
You
1
know the drill here.
and 2. Which one should I decide?
Yeah, I guess.
So I stash one,
my
and the other one
discard.
goes into your discard. So the traps are not such a big deal as long as they're in your discard, although they take up room in your hand. But anyways. And then I am going to actually go to my stash.
Gotcha. I don't have any cards to play at all. I'm not recycling. Actually, maybe I will recycle. I'll recycle these 2 to draw 1. I'm glad I did. And I'm going to move to my stash as well.
Nice.
Thank you.
Beautiful. Okay.
Okay.
So I am now just going to take all of my cards and throw them into my stash.
Me as well. All my cards go into my stash.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Okay. Then you drop 2 your hand. 2, 3.
Move us to the final round, is it?
Yep.
Okay, final round. This is exciting.
6, 7, 8.
1 is my highest card.
1 is your highest card.
Yep.
Okay. 7 is my highest.
Okay.
So I'm going to recycle that one. I'm going to recycle that one. That's 2. I am going to recycle 2, 3, 4. Yeah. And then so I'll pick up 3. So 1, 2, 3. I didn't pick up any tricks. Okay. And then I'm going to go to the market.
And if I go to the market as well, does it do anything?
So what did we, well, we decided that I was,
Player 1.
so I get to choose first. That's all.
Gotcha. Don't I get oh, just 1 foraging?
No, just 1
Gotcha.
foraging.
Okay.
That's
So good.
nice.
Okay. I'm going to go to Pinecrest.
Beautiful.
Okay.
Okay, so at the market, I am going to purchase this card with a,
Nice.
oh, I have all of them. I don't even have to use my wild card. So that goes underneath if you
Yep.
don't mind. So that will go on the bottom here, which is an end of round. So market bonus at the 1+ for each other recipe in the bonus slot.
Nice. Okay.
So I get 3 plus that point.
Yep.
Okay, and then that is my turn.
Excellent. So I'm at Pinecrest, so I'm going to, I guess, play my
Stash
forage
one.
cards.
So stash one if you haven't.
Yeah, so I'll stash 1. Play my forage cards. So I have 1. And then I guess I get to draw 1.
That goes into your discard.
Okay.
Okay, so Les,
Yeah.
that is the end of autumn. Now we all come back to our stash. Everything that's in your hand just goes into your discard
Okay.
because it cannot be used. Do you
I
have a pen?
Prepped. I was ready for this. I got a pen and paper.
Awesome. One of the other nice little things that they have is a little
don't even
scoring
need that.
card.
I'll take the sheet. Or I'm sorry, I'm used to doing it every time. My apologies.
My game.
Yeah. Your score pen.
We'll let you go first, though. So we're going to do Lester and Steve. Okay, Les. So what you need to do.
Oh, do we do this first?
So
right?
just wait. Yeah, we gotta do our end of round. So just a second. I was getting ahead of myself.
Yep.
So you take what is in your stash. And for you, the most important thing is to make sure that you feed old Grizz. For me, I'm gonna try and make sure that I can finish off the cards that are in front of me.
So Old Grizz wants a fish and 2 honeys. And fortunately, at the end of each season, I may spend a star bonus.
Perfect.
So my star bonus pays for his
Good.
that, and
So that can just go in there.
fantastic.
So you can turn Old Grizz over. It means that you've had him.
Excellent.
Okay.
And I can now use honey as a wild card.
Yep.
And then I am going to complete the carrot and nut cake with
Perfect.
my nut and carrot.
There you go. You've got yours completed. So the rest of yours can just go into your discard pile. Unless you
Except
have...
for I got other
sorry.
little bonuses,
Yep.
so I'll
So you hold on to your fish.
hold on to my fish.
Okay. And the rest don't matter.
Yeah, I guess it don't matter. Okay, that's cool.
Okay. So what I'm looking to do is a fish and a carrot. So that one is completed.
Yep.
I'm looking for a honey, an acorn, and a leaf. So that one is completed.
Okay.
I'm looking for honey and an acorn, which, oh, I do have. That one's completed. And I'm looking for, oh, I don't have one, but I've got lots
You have a few
of
stars. Okay,
stars.
that's cool.
So that one is completed. The rest just go into my discard and don't count.
Okay.
Okay, so now what we're gonna do is you're gonna add up your completed recipes. So how many did you, your
Just
completed,
the ones
so
here?
just in the top right corner, you're gonna add those numbers up.
Do I use the ones from the bottom here?
No.
No, okay.
No, it's just completed ones.
So 7.
You have 7.
Yep.
Okay, 7 for less. I have 7, 10, 12.
Okay.
So that goes back down there.
Okay.
Or it can go over here. It doesn't
Sure.
matter. They're done. Then you add up your bonus. So
So I got 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
good. So another 7 for less. And I have 2, 3 plus 1 for the other bonus. So I have 5, 6.
Okay.
So those ones are done. They can go back to the market. Do you have any traps in your stash?
I do not.
Nice. I did. I have a -1.
Okay.
So there is a little line on here says fast food. That's an expansion
Gotcha.
that we didn't use for this time.
Okay.
So now we're just going to add our totals. So 7 plus 7 is 14. 12 plus 6 is 18. Minus 1 is 17. Les, you had a final score of 14, and I had a final score of 17. That is Survival of the Fattest Deluxe Kickstarter edition. Les, what did you think?
I actually really enjoyed it. Although I can't help but think part of it is just because of the phenomenal paint
they
job
awesome?
done on these critters.
They're so cool.
With the terrain and whatnot. Because it makes the board beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
This is a great little simple worker placement card drafting type
drafting.
game.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed it. It's cute. I feel like you could also play this with kids. It'd be an easy teach for them as well.
Yeah.
I like this game. It's a lot of fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it.
I did too. I was really excited for you to play it, just because I love the look of it. But I also like the mechanics of it. You get to choose where you're going with 4. So my whole family played the other night. So all 4 of us. You do start to get really low on food. And so you have to keep kind of shuffling the cards together, which is okay. There's a couple of other expansions that add some extra food. I love the game. I've really enjoyed playing it, and I look forward to breaking it out again. And I really like that you can take a different character. So there's all the different characters, and each one of them does something a little unique, and really makes the game different every single time. I love it. I've really enjoyed playing it. I would suggest to anybody to pick it up. So I really think it'll appeal to a lot of different people. You don't have to be a board game lover with lots of strategy and all that to play this game. There's a bit there, but it's not necessary because it's all about what cards you're drawing and where you're going and so on. That's fun. I love this game. I'm happy that you enjoyed it.
Excellent. And speaking of enjoyment, Steve, what did you think of this Hibiki?
Okay, so we've said it before, so I didn't know in this case. So normally Les provides the game. I don't know what we're playing. He gives me a theme. In this case, I just gave Les the theme of trick or taking tricks.
Tricky
which
was
is
the
tricky,
thing,
yeah. And which is actually a really big part of the game because you get to play your tricks and it helps you be able to do lots of more things in the game. I think we hit it 110% with this because it goes so well. You're a little woodland creature and all you're doing is trying to survive winter. And this is such a great whiskey. I love it.
I'm surprised at how much I enjoy this. And really, Japanese harmony, the 24 seasons, the seasons of this game.
Yeah.
I can't think of a more perfect whiskey to enjoy with a playthrough of this game.
I agree. It really has worked out really well and it's really nice. I really, really enjoy this. I'm looking forward to shutting the cameras off and having another a little bit of it.
When we did the very first episode of Tabletop Tastings, we did a very special thing.
We did.
You paired Booker's and we made Kentucky tea with it.
Yes. The way Booker No would have loved to have us enjoy it with him.
Suntory House has something a little bit similar to that as well.
Oh,
they have
really?
a version of tea that they do. So they take, I'll pour a little bit of liquid in here.
Please.
So they do 1 part Hibiki or any of their other Suntory spirits, and they mix it with 3 parts of hot water.
Okay.
So I've boiled this in advance.
Okay.
Put it in a thermos, so I still hope it's still
Nice.
hot.
Oh,
saw
I
some
can see the
off
steam
it.
coming off of it. Yeah.
Sorry, I got a little bit on you. That's okay. A little bit on me there. Okay. A little bit messy, but it is what it is. Okay.
Well, this is so cool. I'm excited for this.
So, you can see the coloration of it. You know, it's pretty light to begin with already. This adds to it. Let's have a taste.
Let's try it. Warm whiskey.
That's all right, eh?
Les,
That's all right.
Les, that is awesome.
I am...
Oh my goodness, I am blown away. So when we did Booker's, you did the 4 to 1, right? So, but it was just cold water or just water, right? The warm water with this
super nice.
is like next level. I could totally see enjoying this next to Mount Fuji, looking up, enjoying a nice one when it's so cold outside. Oh, this is awesome.
What a great start to winter. Wow.
That makes a really nice little drink.
That's awesome.
For a winter time. That is awesome.
That's cool, eh?
Thanks for doing that, Les.
You're welcome.
That's awesome. You know what, Les? I think that we've learned a very important lesson tonight.
We definitely have.
That is, if you are going to play the 1 to 4 player deluxe edition of Survival of the Fattest from Dirty Rascal Games, I think you're going to want to pair it with
Hibiki from Suntory Whiskey House.
You sure are, and try it with the hot water.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
What a treat.
I love it. So this is another episode of Tabletop Tastings. Thank you so much for subscribing, for watching. Please comment. Let us know. We respond to every single comment.
It means the absolute world to
It
us.
sure does.
My name is Les.
And I'm Steve.
And this is Tabletop Tastings.
That it is.
Have a great day.
Yeah.